Eddie George's Heisman-winning story is about a player with a dream. But this story is also about a player with a mother that wouldn't let that dream die. Eddie lived with his mother and sister in an upstairs apartment in the shadows of the Philadelphia skyline. This is where he thought, at a young age, his Heisman journey would begin.
Sometimes I think that I know what love's all about, and when I see the light, I know I'll be alright.
George may not have used the Heisman pose during his college days at Ohio State, but he has used it, believe it or not, when he was 11 years old. He would have used it sooner, except his mother wasn't crazy about her son even playing football.
No, not really, not so young. I wanted him to build his body up with milk, the calcium. I didn't want him to incur injury at 5 or 8 years old. So by the time he got to be about 11 years old, Mom, can I get out there again? I says, okay, let's try it. Very first practice, he went out there, broke the arm. And he ran to my mother, saying, Grandma, you have to help me. Mom's going to take me out of football. So, you know, after that little hurdle was over of understanding and say, okay, son, you're prepared, I'm behind you. He went on at the age of 11 with the Abington Raiders.
This is Abington High School in suburban Philadelphia. This is where Eddie George thought he would launch his Heisman journey. Now, he was scheduled to start at tailback his sophomore season, but apparently his mom had different plans. He was getting it done on the football field, but not in the classroom.
He started not paying attention in school. Give an example, if he ran into a problem with a teacher, he wanted to resolve it himself instead of letting the teacher to resolve. I felt as though that incident right there showed a little bit disrespect. It was a problem where the teacher was not actually accepting his explanation to the problem in classroom. And she had asked him to have a seat and she would take care of it later. And he didn't want to hear about it, so he decides to leave out the classroom to go talk to the disciplinarian. And he thought he was in the right, but then, you know, he was in the wrong.
Quick! Out! Left! Out!
Donna George made the decision to send her son to Fork Union Military Academy. It was a tough decision, an expensive decision.
Education had not become that important to him. It was more football. That was disaster day here in this living room. After seeing his performance of not doing his homework, walking out the classroom, even telling little stories to me and giving me many, many promises that he would do the homework, I said enough is enough. I'm not going to go through the 11th and 12th grade with this type of attitude. He didn't think that I understood how this was just destroying his career, as he put it. I'm just destroying his career. The scouts from the colleges are not going to find me in a no man's place. I'm going to no man's land.
After a divorce, Donna George worked as a manager at Ford Motor Company, a model, and an airline flight attendant. Most of the time holding down 2, sometimes 3 jobs at once. But she never complained, probably because she was enjoying life.
Because see, I was fulfilling 2 goals at one time. I've always wanted to be a flight attendant. I've always wanted to model. Matter of fact, I always wanted to model in Paris. And even though the money that I was making, majority of it went towards his education, I was still abstaining and fulfilling my needs.
The city of Philadelphia is known for a lot of things like Independence Hall, Julius Erving, and now Eddie George. And even though this city still claims this year's Heisman Trophy winner, actually when Eddie made the break to Fork Union Military Academy, he more or less severed all ties with Philadelphia.
City of brotherly love, place I call home. Don't turn your back on me. I don't want to be alone.
But while we see the finish to this Heisman story, if it wasn't for Mom, George might not have realized his dream. He wanted to turn pro after his junior year. But even before that, he couldn't shake that October afternoon of his freshman season when his 2 fumbles cost the Buckeyes that game against Illinois.
He comes out of the locker room. He approaches me, he hugs, and I see tears. I took him to the side and said, you sit right here and you cry it out. Because once we leave out of the stadium, we're going to walk with our head high and we're going to come back here. So a loss to him, he really took it to heart and his heart was just broken. He went, like I said, he wanted to run away from Ohio State. He had called me and about a month later saying that he really wanted to leave Ohio State. He couldn't stand the pressure.
It is my pleasure to announce the winner, Eddie George, Ohio State.
If you have a dream and you want to see that dream come into reality, you have to plan. There are going to be some obstacles, closed doors, but when the door closes, open the other door. There's going to be some hard knocks. When they knock you down, get back up. Don't run away from it.